Hey, everybody. Hope everybody is doing well. Ready for a show? Ready to get this going? Thank goodness the NFL draft is in our rear view mirror, huh? Oh, my goodness. Seriously. I mean, how awful was the NFL draft? And I didn't even watch it. I followed it, but the social media, our network, sports casters, it's embarrassing. Seriously, absolutely embarrassing, horrible. And it's just another sad indictment of how messed up our country is. And just, it's really sad, man. It's really sad. It's sad that something as big as the NFL draft can turn into one story, one story. And how everything is about a player whose father is very famous in Shedeur Sanders. And then it becomes about race, which race has absolutely nothing to do with it. Mountains are made out of molehills. Again, the race card comes out. You have the idiotic, beyond comprehension comments by Stephen A. Smith talking about collusion and comparing it to Colin Kaepernick. Like, that to me just ruins his credibility when he makes comments like that. It's just terrible. It's embarrassing. There's no other way to say it. It's embarrassing. And I made a rant on this today. The NFL should change their end racism slogan to end stupidity. That's what they should put in the end zone. End stupidity. Because that's what we saw. I mean, Mel Kiper Jr., are you kidding me? The NFL doesn't know how to draft quarterbacks? How about this, Mel? How about mistakes are made all the time in different positions with various sports? The NFL doesn't know how to evaluate quarterbacks. Yeah, right. I would say this, and I've said this before, I think the quarterback position is the most difficult to evaluate. I have said that. But, listen, I'm going to say this. I wouldn't have taken Shedeur Sanders. He's got too much flair. I mean, look at his celebration party. I'm sorry. I don't want that in my quarterback. I don't. I want a reserved guy. I want somebody that is in my facility the next morning. I always tell the story interviewing Jim Moore. I said, Jim, when you were the head coach at Indianapolis, why'd you guys decide on Peyton Manning over Ryan Leaf? And he said, it's very simple. The same question was asked of each candidate. Said, Peyton, if we draft you, what are you going to do? He said, I'll be there the next day with the playbook, getting ready to go to work. Same question to Ryan Leaf. Oh, I'm going to get all my buddies and we're going to go on vacation in Hawaii. They end up taking Peyton Manning. What happened to Ryan Leaf? There's a lot of truth to that. There's a lot of truth to that. You got all the links there. Give me a call. We'll put you right on. I'll put the QR code up as well. That way you've got both. And I would love to have you on and we can talk about this. How about the big news out of Sac State? It looks like Shaq is going to be the general manager. That's right. Now your universities have sports general managers. Voluntary, as Shaq's son is going to play there. But it's, Mike Bibby will do good things there. I'm very happy for Mike. Very happy for Mike. All right, NBA, the Cavaliers destroyed the Heat. That series is in the books. And the Rockets, and pretty much a must-win, lead the Warriors 43-41 with 4:35 left. And again, the big news here is Jimmy Butler, all right, back for the Warriors after that very, very scary fall. New York media going nuts over the Giants giving high marks, totally blowing off the Jets. It was interesting for them, but we'll see. I've seen that. Giants are getting high marks from everyone. around the country, which I don't quite understand because none of these guys have stepped on the field. And Abdul Carter asking Lawrence Taylor if he could wear number 56 is embarrassing to me. Who the hell is he? Make a tackle first. You know what? Make a tackle first. Get to the quarterback. Show us that you can play. You're asking for arguably the greatest player in the history of the National Football League defensively if you can wear his number. What are you kidding me? It's embarrassing. Make a tackle first. You know? Don't be Kayvon Thibodeau. Go out and make a tackle. And as Lawrence Taylor said, go make a name for yourself, son. Whether it's 00 or whatever, go make a name for yourself. It's the best advice. Seriously. Incredible. How about that? You're going to ask Lawrence Taylor if you can wear 56? Does Carter realize that he's the greatest New York Giant of all time? You're going to ask him to wear his number? Like you haven't even stepped on the NFL field? Incredible. What does it mean that Shaq is now the basketball GM at Sac State? Great question. I have no idea what the hell that means. That's a good question. Just has his name attached to it. Maybe he gets free tickets now. I don't know. I have no idea. What I do know is college sports, in my opinion, is being ruined by the transfer portal and name, image, and likeness. That's right. I believe it's being ruined. I believe that we will no longer look at college sports the way we have for decades. And I am not against change, but I'm not a fan of this type of change. I think it's awful. I think it's awful. Good point here. Anyway, Bibby and Shaq fund a new gym for Sac State. It's embarrassing. Yes, it is embarrassing. Hey, Grant, I never got to ask you, what did you think of WrestleMania? I didn't even know WrestleMania was going on, so I can't really tell you what I thought of it. Was that going on? I believe my buddy Ryan, was that the WrestleMania in Dallas? Ryan was there. I have no interest in it. I used to when I was a kid, but no more. So I can't give you an answer to that. I didn't even know what was going on, you know? I didn't know what was going on. All right, if you want to get in on the program, the streams are in the link. So you have an opportunity to jump on. All right, happy to take your phone calls. Our open forum show. Do you agree with me about the NFL draft? I know that Cody, who's a big regular, is a huge fan of Colorado and a huge fan of Shedeur Sanders. I've not been a fan of Colorado, and I have not been a fan of Sanders. I think he is talented, but talent doesn't get it done at the quarterback position in the NFL. And I think that his bravado, if I can use that term, his cockiness, his arrogance. Obviously, he interviewed very poorly. I mean, that's obvious. He's got a lot to learn. And the fact that his father wants to control everything also would prevent me from drafting him. You know, everyone talks about Draymond Green. I'm done talking about Draymond Green. Seriously. Guys, I don't know what to say. Eduardo, hola. How are you in Chile? Thoughts on Pacier's son going to Illinois for his third year of college basketball? Some NBA boards had him as a second-round selection. He's the definition of what's wrong with college basketball. Right there. That's what's wrong with college sports. And I know him. This is not an attack on him at all. Don't get me wrong. He's exhibit A of what's wrong with college basketball. Stanford is first year, Cal is second year, Illinois is third year. Come on. That's what's wrong with college basketball right there. I used to work in Champaign in central Illinois, and I covered Illinois basketball and football. Illinois basketball when Lou Henson was the coach, and they were a perennial top 10 ranked team, and I loved it. It was great. So he's going to a great atmosphere. I wish him nothing but the best. I know him. Obviously, I'm very close to his dad. But again, he's what's wrong. When I say he's what's wrong, that's what's wrong. Not he. He's taking advantage of the opportunity. He's not doing anything wrong. That's what's wrong with college sports. That's what's wrong. Doing good, buddy. Always good to hear from you, Eduardo. Hope everything's good in Chile. Always good to hear from you. What was Omri Caspi like? Class act, great guy, hard worker. Loved him. Loved him. What's wrong with Stanford and Cal? You mean what's wrong with the fact that players are leaving? Is that what you mean? I money? Maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. All I know is name, image, likeness, and the transfer portal is ruining. And I use the term ruin college sports. Well, he didn't get much time at Stanford because he was a freshman. Let's be fair about that. Stojakovic was a freshman. So let's, and then he grew up a lot and was great at Cal. You know what? Great analogy. The Sanders situation is very reminiscent of the Lonzo Ball and that whole situation. Spot on. I agree with you. Grant, what can we offer to get Giannis in a Kings jersey next year? Ownership. What are the Lakers' chances of coming back in this series? Probably not very good. I don't know why Illinois over Cal and Stanford. I can't answer that. Obviously, a different conference. I don't know. Eduardo says I introduced Omri to him on his first time in Arco. I don't remember that, but I'm happy that you had a chance to meet him. Great guy. Great guy. All right, NBA again. The Rockets and the Warriors currently playing, and again, this is a huge game for the Rockets. They somehow, some way, they're going to have to win, and it's tied at 47. Not been a good look for the officials in the NBA playoffs so far. Clearly missed a foul at the end of the Pistons-Knicks game, which probably changed the outcome of the game. Missed the trip on the Timberwolves that could have cost the Lakers the game when Luka was tripped. Definitely, missing calls at the end of games like that. It's a bad look for the NBA. Grant, what grade do I give the Raiders on their draft picks? I give you a F for your grammar and your spelling, and I give the Raiders no grade because I don't evaluate drafts before players step onto the field. But thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's right. Say hello to John, Eduardo. Good job right there. Good job right there. Good job. Excellent. Hey, I want to tell you about New Works Plumbing. They've got a fix for you. They're available around the clock 24/7. Go to sackserviceplumbing.com or call the number on your screen or go to newworksplumbing.com, NEWWRXplumbing.com. New Works Plumbing. They've got a fix for you. And remember, they're available around the clock 24/7 for your plumbing needs and repairs. Still no word from Scott Perry on what he's going to do. I know that Ryan on the King's Court today made a very good point. Has anyone even been interviewed for the head coaching job? I would say no, because I think Doug Christie's already been given the job. That's my opinion. We'll find out. I think sooner rather than later. But I've told you everything that's been going on from day one in this. And if I'm wrong, I'll come on and tell you I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. Eduardo says, I walked him to center court while the team was coming out for a warm-up, and you called Omri over and Rudy. Good for you, buddy. Absolutely no one is interviewing with Perry, the smooth-talking, experienced used salesman. Well, not that we're aware of. Am I happy that the Giants kept Brian and Joe Shane? I am. I wanted to give them one more year. So, yes, I am happy. This is a make-or-break year for them, obviously. They need to show significant improvement this year in what is a very difficult division. Very difficult. Do I think that Domas stays? That's going to be one of the more interesting storylines in the offseason, along with DeMar DeRozan. Very interesting to see what's going to happen there. Again, if the Kings had been interviewing other coaches, do you think we would know about it? What do you think? In this day and age, I think we would know about it. Shouldn't the Kings wait until the playoffs finish to interview candidates since there could be a good assistant available? Well, you can interview an assistant right now anyway. You wouldn't have to wait until after the playoffs. It's up to Doug. Doug is doing the hiring now, says John. Dobro Utro, Gemini brother. You know that Baki and I have the same birthday date. How about that? If Domas is traded, it's a full rebuild. Well, they've already come out publicly and said they're not rebuilding. There you have it. Could Eric Spoelstra be fired by the Heat after what happened in Game 3 and 4? I would hope not. He's considered the best coach in the league. They're not going to fire Eric Spoelstra. I would be shocked. And if they fire Eric Spoelstra, I would be in Miami at his doorstep the next day begging him to be my coach. Eduardo says, I remember that day like it was yesterday. Or forever in my heart. Thank you for everything you did for me. You know what, Eduardo? Ed, I'm going to tell you this, Ed. You know this. It gave me great joy to see how much that meant to you, Ed, and how happy you were, and how it was really a dream of yours to be at a Kings game and to experience all of that in that environment and to be able to take you inside the ropes, so to speak, and have you come to the studio and put you on my radio show and have you meet the players and take you on the court. Like, that was a great experience for me, Ed, because I know the love you have for this franchise, and I am so blown away that Baki in Serbia and you in Chile and other fans around the world that I have talked with and met invest so much time into a little basketball team in Sacramento. I say little, I know it's the NBA, but you could have been a Knicks fan, right? Could have been a Heat fan. Would have been easier for you to watch. Times much easier for you. But no, Sacramento Kings. And your love for the team resonated with me. And so I wanted you to have that experience. So I'm very happy that it had that effect on you because it was a phenomenal experience for me as well to see the joy you have in a team. So, yeah. Thank you, Eduardo. Eduardo, Ed for short. Eduardo's his real name. Yes, indeed. Call right now if you want to get on. Happy to do it. All right. There's your link. We'd be more than happy to put you on the show. Well, you know, Jimmy Butler, that's how Jimmy Butler plays. Hard foul, you say. Hey, Grant, according to Mark Stein, Kings do not plan to initiate an offseason teardown. Wonder what that means. I know exactly what that means. It means that you have a delusional owner who thinks they're going to win the championship next year. That's what that means. I know exactly what it means. That's what that means. I mean, you want to know what that means? Yeah. 57-50 now, the Rockets, 20 seconds left to go in the first. Well, now it is halftime. 57-50 at the half. You know, that's the one bugaboo for the Warriors is turn the ball over. But remember, they're up in the series. And I think this series is still going 7. but it won't go 7 if the Rockets don't win this game tonight. That's for darn sure. It better go 7 tonight. Dylan Brooks. He's an interesting player, isn't he, Cody? Says Dylan Brooks. Such a villain. Grant, can you tell us about the Heat fan base? Looked pretty empty tonight. Yeah, their fan base is terrible. It's awful. Miami professional sports, terrible. I think it's the worst. Miami and Atlanta is the worst professional fan base in sport, and there's a reason for that. Most of the people that live in Miami are not from Florida. They didn't grow up like with a mother and a father who rooted for a team in the city that you were born in. They're transplants. They come from all over the world. There's a huge population from South America. There's a huge Cuban population. There's a population from the islands. There's, New Yorkers. There's Californians. Miami doesn't have a lot of homegrown people. So there's a reason for it. But it's terrible. Terrible. Any thoughts on the Knicks-Pistons game 4? It will be close. It'll be close. I mean, let's face it, the Pistons got screwed on that non-call. They got screwed. The games have been very, very close. And there's been a lot of seesaw quarters in this game, in this series. I think it's going to be close. Can I do a quick recap with what's happening with the Kings, please? I could, but I don't know. I think I know, but I don't know for sure. But my quick recap is they're making it seem like they're out interviewing other coaches, and then they'll name Doug Christie the coach. That's what I think's going on. I'm a longtime A's fan, so I'm used to complete rebuilds and trading players while value is high. I have no problem with starting Kings rebuild now if that's the best direction. I hear fans are always late to Heat's game because the city is so laid back. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on in that area. You have Bayside right next to it, which is a great tourist area. You don't have mass transit for all intents and purposes in South Florida. If you're coming from the South Beach area, the road from South Beach can get extremely backed up. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of truth to that. But the biggest truth is it's more of a social setting than your hardcore fans. That's really what I would say about it. That's how I would explain it. All right, let's move on. Let's get to some phone calls. What's going on, buddy? How are you?
Doing good. How about you, my man?
I'm doing well. What's shaking?
Well, I saw on the stream someone wanted a quick recap, and the quick and short is that the jock sniffer still owns the team. He hired a yes man. He's pretending that he's interviewing people while telling us he's got experience and some connections. So I imagine he's probably going to wait till these playoffs go a little bit longer and kind of play this game. But I think the majority of fans understand what's happening right now. So Kings just King fans just kind of, you're just going to have to just ride this one out. Because
it's not essential. It's not essential right now to have a coach because there's nothing going on.
That's true, and we're stuck anyways. I mean, it's kind of old news. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to want to take Levine's contract, and I don't know if trading Dumas would be such a good thing. I mean, he's a walking double-double. You know what he's going to get, and
I wouldn't trade him. As Jerry Reynolds said when he was on with Rhino on the Kings court last Tuesday, he's the best center in Kings history. And right now, currently in the NBA, he's one of the top centers in the league. And so if you don't have him, you better get someone that's pretty good.
Yeah. How are you going to? Yeah. Why would you? I don't know. For me, work ethic, blue collar, physicality. Maybe he's boxing out and blocking shots, but I mean, he's not going to be a 5-star player, but a walking double double, and he's willing to put it all on the line. And I like the way he's handled himself professionally. I think that means a lot. I think that sets a tone in the locker room. Everyone talks about an identity and a culture. I think that's something that's where a culture comes about. But all in all, we still have the jock sniffer. Hey, this thing with the college stuff, it's really kind of put a sour taste in my mouth. I used to really I enjoy watching college sports because of the kids are putting it all out there. It might be the last time they play and whatnot. But now it just seems like it's really turned into this money making, laundering, betting type of environment. How sustainable do you think? I mean, is it really college sports? I mean, why are we
No,
even
it's not.
calling?
It's professional sports below what we're accustomed to seeing with the NFL, MLB, NHL, and NBA. It's professional sports now.
Yeah,
By
it's
the way, real
crazy.
quickly, I want to get to this from Brother Cy. Sabonis is not the best center in Kings history. Well, then who is? Name me a center that was better than Sabonis. Go ahead. But anyway, to answer your question, it's not college sports anymore. It's professional sports.
I think Brother Cy was going to say Joe Klein.
Yeah.
I
That's
think he's
funny.
stuck. He's stuck. He's probably sitting in the parking lot right now thinking they're going to be in the playoffs or something. So that's okay. We need those kind of fans. We need fanatics. We need people that are pushed back. We need the new fans. We need the old fans. I
Yeah.
think the NBA is in big trouble. I say take the 3-pointer away, take the zone defense away, make people play an arm's length away, especially if your man is extended above the free throw line. And we'll see more scoring. We'll see more spacing. We'll see better athletes, not better athletes, but better athletic play. And I think you'll see some defense. And, until they do that, I think it's just going to be the way it is. So I like hockey. This year's the first year I watched hockey in succession, where I actually watched that tournament. And you know what? I don't know jack about the lines or the skating and the guys going in the box and flying around and all that, but I enjoyed that round robin. I thought that was really good. The NBA could take a page out of that book.
I love hockey. I watch it every night. Thank you, buddy. It's always great hearing from you.
Thank you. Take care. I love you.
Love you too, buddy. You're the best. Getting questions. Zach Randolph didn't play center. Zach Randolph was a power forward, and that was his position throughout his career, including with Memphis when he played alongside Marc Gasol, if you remember. Cousins was far better than Sabonis. Wow, you're delusional. Brad Miller and Divac were better. Again, I love both Vlade and Brad. No, they weren't. Come on now. And listen, I have a lot of respect for Jerry. I've disagreed with Jerry before, but when Jerry was on with Rhino on the Kings Court last Tuesday, and he made that comment, I was thinking about it, and I really couldn't disagree with him. I think he's spot on. Cousins was a beast, but his mind wasn't on straight when we had him. His mind was never on straight his entire career. It wasn't on straight in New Orleans. It wasn't on straight in Golden State. It wasn't on straight with the Lakers. It wasn't on straight with Denver. Why do you think none of those teams ever kept him? If he was so good, think about this. If he was so good and so great, how come New Orleans couldn't wait to get rid of him? How come he only played 1 year in the Warriors? How come the Lakers got rid of him? How come Michael Malone in Denver, after 2 months, didn't even make a phone call to retain him? Have you ever asked yourself why that is? Okay, well, you probably should. You probably should. Brother Cy, you're delusional because you know what? All 30 general managers in the NBA right now, and 10 years ago, and 20 years ago, and 30 years ago, knowing what they know now, would all take Sabonis over Cousins. Nobody would take Cousins because you can't win with Cousins because of obvious things that we've talked about for the last 10 to 15 years. Unbelievable. How come the Pacers got rid of Sabonis and we're about to? They didn't get rid of him. They traded him for a young player and Buddy Hield. They wanted a point guard. They needed a point guard. They had an all-star who was a two-time all-star at the time, and they traded him because they had an asset, and they used him to get an asset. And what makes you think that the Kings are trying to trade Sabonis? Have you heard that from anyone? Have you asked Scott Perry, are you close to him, if they're trying to trade Sabonis? Or are you just making that up? I mean, Sam, what's wrong with you? Seriously. Unbelievable. Why is Vivek running this team back? Watch the Thunder. We can't get to that level with this roster. Cousins is now playing overseas. Good for him. Good for him. All right, if you want to get in on the program, you can. Happy to have you. Don't forget about Sunrise Landing in Calusa. This is a beautiful residential community. You go to calusasunrise.com, and you will get all the information at Sunrise Landing from Blazona Development. 6 models to choose from. Remember, there's no Mellorews, no homeowners, close to I-5, Highway 20, Highway 45, and guess what? Adjacent to the Calusa Golf and Country Club. Go to calusasunrise.com and get all the information on Sunrise Landing. Any more thoughts on the NFL draft? All right. What do you think? Do you think it was a disaster? How about all the fans that showed up in Green Bay? That was pretty amazing. That was pretty amazing. Cody said Costa Kuf is always starting alongside DeMarcus Cousins. Yeah, what position did Costa play? Yes, thank you very much. Brother Cy, instead of saying Cousins was a better player and it's not even close, you should just say, I'm delusional, but I want to get on Grant's program. Grant, I bet all lives matter overseas. All lives matter everywhere. Very true. So this week, we've got the NHL, NBA playoffs. Maybe, and I say maybe, we'll hear something from Scott Perry. We're getting ready for the Kentucky Derby, which, does anyone know anything about the Derby? Can you name one horse running in the Derby? I can't, but I'll watch it. Can you name 2 horses in the Derby? I can't, because I can't name one. In order to name 2, you have to name one first. Oh my gosh. There's nothing Sabonis does better than Cousins. Yeah, he wins games. He does a lot of things better than Cousins. He wins games. Can't name a horse. I can't either. How do I determine if a player is better than another player because it's a team game? Very simple, and it's a great question. Fans only look at stats. They don't look at the intangibles, which is why Shedeur Sanders was a 5th-round pick. There's a lot more to being successful as a professional athlete than, I'll just say this, there's a lot more that goes into a professional athlete than just statistics. A lot. How are they in the locker room? Do they bring down the team? Are they a destructive force? Are they a cancer? Are they a coach killer? I can go on and on and on. It's called culture. And if a player affects the culture in a bad way, doesn't really matter how talented they are, you don't want them on your team. That's it. That's it. You know what? Go take this argument up with Rhino tomorrow when he has Jerry Reynolds on. Go take it up with Jerry because he's the one that made the comment, and I agree with him. But go ask Jerry Reynolds. We already talked about this, but thanks for joining us. I don't even know what a GM does in a college. I mean, what is that? It's a voluntary. He's taken a voluntary position. I don't even know what that means. It's good. There's no negative to it. There's no negative to it at all. Zach Randolph was not a center. Zach Randolph was a power forward. Prime example, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers. Huh? Huh? Like, what do you mean by that, James? Expand on that when you're talking about prime example. Hey, talent is great, but if you don't have everything else and you're a problem, then, I mean, what good are you? Seriously, what good are you? So that Rocket scores 57-50 at the break. Houston up by 7. Brooks with 11. Van Vliet with 12. Meanwhile, the Warriors, Curry in double figures with 10. What did Buddy do in that first half? Wow. 1 of 5, 0 of 3 for 2 points. How about that? Shedeur was done dirty. League is racist. Yeah, the league is racist, DJ Vines. That's right. That's why 26 of the first 32 players taken in the draft were black. And I believe 56 of the first 64 players taken in the draft were black. And the number one player taken in the draft was black. But you're right. You're right, DJ. The league is racist. No doubt about it. Absolutely. Very, very true. Very true. Ed, you're spot on. Cousins was a waste of talent. Could not have said it better. Levine for Morant. Fasten your seatbelts. Ja's a messed up individual. Good night to you, too. Oh, who am I taking? Brees or Rodgers? I'm taking Rodgers. Better quarterback. If you're telling me I can start their careers all over again, I'm taking Rodgers. More talented. If you told me I couldn't have Rodgers and I would have to have Drew Brees, I would be happy. Don't get me wrong, but that's who I'm taking. Who are you taking, James? Since you asked me the question, James, who are you taking? Morant misses too many games. Well, he because he's stupid. Morant is a mess. Yes, he is. He's a big-time mess. Go ask anyone in Memphis, and they will actually say it in more vulgar and vile terms than I just did. Sabonis equals actual pro. Very true. Sabonis will be gone in a year. Sabonis will be gone in 2 years. Well, maybe he will. Maybe he will, but that doesn't mean he's not good. John Moran is a hot mess. Oh, boy, is he ever. He is a hot mess. He is a hot mess. That's a good way of saying it. That is a good way of saying it. He is a hot mess. I wouldn't want Morant. Too much baggage, too many red flags. Too many red flags. James says, yes, you would take Rodgers, but he has the locker room problems. I would take Rodgers because of leadership, and they aren't far from talent-wise, in my opinion. Well, they didn't have locker room problems really in Green Bay. I mean, they were a perennial playoff team almost every year. They didn't play well in the playoffs other than the one Super Bowl. But you can't discount that. Can't discount that. You know, I get a lot of questions about Shaq as the Sac State GM. I don't even know what that means. Like, what's a GM do in college? Seriously, what is the GM do is going to do at Sacramento State? I think it's good for notoriety with Mike Bibby and Shaq. I think it brings a lot of attention to the program, and I think that's great. I think that's great. I think that's fabulous. There's no negatives to that, in my opinion. None. No negatives. Or if there are, I don't see it, but I don't see any negatives to that at all. And there are no negatives when you get in touch with Connor at Element Mortgage. When it comes to buying a home, selling a home, you need a trusted real estate agent with a lot of experience. You got the QR code right there, or call him at 916-505-1006. Connor, as I said, experience and trust, which is so important to me when you're talking about a real estate agent. The team behind him has over 100 years of experience. So get in touch with him. He knows the Northern California market inside and out. From Sacramento, 916-505-1006. That's Connor with Element Mortgage, 916-505-1006. Get in touch with him. You'll be happy that you did. All right, so again, this week, you got games going on all over the place. You've got the King's Court tomorrow with Ryan and Jerry. I'll be back at 8 o'clock, same time. And I'm going to start mixing up the times a little bit to see what you all prefer. Like, this isn't an ideal time if you're in Chile or New York, but I also have to be cognizant of the fact that the vast majority of my audience is in Northern California. So again, I think this is a good time for a lot of people. Some days I'll be on at 3 in the afternoon. We'll see how that works. Some days 5. So we'll be moving it around a little bit to get a good feel as we get through this off season. But I got a lot of content, got a lot of good things coming up. We're going to follow everything going on with the Kings and lead you right up to the draft, free agency, summer league. And then before you know it, we're talking football again. So I'm very much looking forward to all of that. So don't forget. And listen, if you don't think Sabonis is the best center in the NBA, call up the show tomorrow with Rhino when he has Jerry on, because Jerry made that comment on last Tuesday's show on the King's Court. All right. Appreciate you all. Thank you very much. I'll be back tomorrow right here on If You Don't Like That. Bye-bye.